Greetings and salutations, ladies and menfolk. Welcome to another episode of Game Break, an ongoing series where me and my crew take a break from our creative endeavors and play some video games and experience some other people's creative endeavors and find out just what their stories are and what their characters can do. I am Charles, coming back to you with Everlasting Summer. Now, it's been a little while since I've recorded this, so I kind of forget just where we were. So we're just going to have to dive right in and see where we are and what we're up to and just what are we in for this time. Load. Alright, so I guess we were at lunchtime. She pointed at the table next to the pillar. Slavia, Ulyana, and Lena were already sitting there. Not bad company. At least, not the worst. I got my meal and went up to them. Do you mind if I sit here? I caught myself sounding a bit clueless. There were no other free places anyway. No, of course not. Please do. Lena remained silent. Alright, now I gotta remember everyone's quirks for their voices. Not that I've been consistent about that anyway, but I try to get an idea in mind. Today, the meal consisted of a plate of borscht. I suspected there was some meat lurking in it, but I had no evidence. Some poultry, chances are chickenus domesticus, with fried potatoes and a traditional glass of compote. I found myself liking the local food more and more. I guess I just came to the conclusion that I have no other choice, which means there's no use in complaining. Thank God there's something to eat. Coming to the ball tonight? I don't know. He'll come. He's got nowhere to go. Ulyana said happily. You will come for sure. Of course. I can't miss the opportunity to watch you make a fool of yourself. She got it right, so I decided not to reply. And what about you? I asked Lena. Yes, she replied briefly. See, you should go too, then, said Slavia, as if leaving me no choice. Don't forget to wear your tailcoat. Apparently, Ulyana was so pleased with her joke that she laughed out loud. Didn't realize that was a joke. But I really had nothing to wear. Yeah, except what you're wearing now. My wardrobe was just a pioneer uniform and my winter clothes, which would be inappropriate even in the evening. And what will you be dressed in, entertainer? Secret! Will it be a little dress, just like in a kindergarten's matinee? Oh, that's gonna go over well. Ulyana turned red. Looked like I managed to offend her. That's definitely an offended face. No, I will not wear a biohazard suit, just so I don't... No, I will wear a biohazard suit, just so I don't catch an infection from you. I wonder what kind of infection are you afraid of catching from me? Enough, you guys. Don't quarrel. Idiocy, of course. Looks like Ulyana was highly pleased with her, as she thought. Brilliant answer again. You know, if you already have the flu, you can't catch the cold. Ouch. Two can play at that game. What are you implying? I don't know, I think that one was pretty clear. Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. I looked away slyly. Do you mean that? She went red again. I don't mean anything. Guys. Given that it was Lena who interfered, it probably really was time to stop. You're asking for it. You're gonna get it. What? You'll finally wise up? Instead of replying, Ulyana grabbed her plate filled with borscht and tipped it over my head. Yeah, you were kind of asking for that one. This game met an unexpected finale. Oh, you little... She jumped up and tried to run away. But this time she won't get away. I grabbed her hand. And now what? I can't just smash her head against the table. No, that would be pretty rude. This pantomime lasted a few seconds. Suddenly, Ulyana skillfully grabbed a glass full of compote and splashed it in my face. That way, she managed to get free of my grip. She dashed off towards the counter and I chased her. This resulted in several flipped tables, a pile of smashed tableware, 5 pioneers crippled by various injuries, and full exhaustion of both parties. A draw, sort of. A belligerent draw. With too much belligerence. We stood before each other and breathed heavily. Tell me you won't behave this way again. And you? Uh-oh. Olga snuck up on us from behind. When you think about it, such a riot couldn't go unnoticed. Well, are you satisfied with yourselves now? Her voice appeared to be calm, but I was sure she was just about to explode. And who's going to clean up all this mess? Exactly what happened. Who, I'm asking you? Who? Him, replied Ulyana with complete confidence. I think this is a group effort. Oops. Her, I objected less confidently. Both. The camp leader brought a conclusive end to this ongoing argument. Yeah, that's an angry face that you don't really want to mess with, I think. Generally, I wasn't sure that my share of the blame is more than hers, although Ulyana didn't have a drop of guilt on her face. Beat it! I'm not cleaning. Ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah, if you have a dance to get ready for, I can kind of understand that. This is his fault. He started it first. No, it isn't. Oh, yes, it is. I'm not going to sort out all that nonsense. Semyon, go grab a mop, a bucket, some cloths, you know, that kind of stuff in the closet. And as for you... She looked at Ulyana with such a burning gaze that I felt a bit sorry for the girl. You start to pick up the broken tableware immediately. Olga took a deep breath and continued. You're nothing but trouble. How many times have I told you? I decided to skip the lecture and went to the closet that appeared to be near the exit. Suddenly, a perfect idea flashed in my head. Why don't I just run away? Sure, Olga has caught us already, but I'm not the one to blame. Of course, I'm not that true pioneer she keeps talking about, but in comparison to Ulyana... Anyway, she's the principal culprit. It's not like I have nothing better to do than cleaning up the mess here. I have to seek answers. The truth is out there, somehow flashed through my mind. Are we gonna get aliens in this thing? 'Cause it's already weird enough. Oh, choice. I'm gonna go with... No, we were a part of this, so we'll clean up some. Nah, running away is hardly a good idea. For starters, Olga has caught me already, and dashing off would only aggravate my punishment. As well as that, I was indeed partially guilty. Of course, it was all her fault. But if I hadn't reacted like that, probably we could have avoided this thrashing. Probably. I opened the cabinet and took out a broom, a mop, and a dustpan. Olga wasn't anywhere near Ulyana by the time I returned. She's gone? Can't you see for yourself? Ulyana looked upset. All her youthful spirit vanished without a trace. Okay, hang on a sec. I'll go and wash myself a bit first. I shot her an angry glance and headed towards the exit. I washed the scraps of lunch off myself and returned to the canteen. Well, no escaping it. We have to clean it up. It's all because of you. Just a single gaze from her gave me the creeps. Yeah, that's kind of a cranky face. Of course it is. It's me who's guilty of everything. It's me who's a local natural hazard. Oh, shut up! Still, it's kind of strange that she is not trying to avoid this cleanup duty. Ulyana had a solid opportunity to just run away and leave me alone, but somehow she did the exact opposite, diligently gathering broken plate fragments, mopping the floor, picking up chairs and tables. In fact, she was so fast that I had a tough time keeping up with her. Well now, aren't you suddenly acting all goody-goody? It's not like I want to spend the whole day here, you dork. She still sounded irritated. Listen, you've got to understand that you can't behave like that. At least, not to such an extent. For some reason, I decided to try and give her a moral lecture. Yeah, good luck with that. I haven't done a thing. Sure you haven't. You're completely innocent and have never done anything out of order. Not once, not ever. It was you who was calling me names. Ulyana grabbed a bucket and a mop and went to the farthest corner of the canteen. Looks like she's still angry. Looking back at the mountain of broken tableware, I finally began to understand the scope of the catastrophe. We're lucky that at least the forks and spoons are made of metal. We still have something to eat with. But there are hardly any plates left. That's going to be a problem for the rest of the semester or season or span of time there, for lack of a more appropriate term. Kind of need plates. Hey! Ulyana called me with a shout. I went over to her. I don't get it. Why do you hate me so much? Wait, what? Her face became so serious that I was ready to believe that it wasn't just yet another trick of hers. Why do you think so? I have no idea. That's exactly why I'm asking you. I don't hate you. It's just that sometimes you behave like... well, you know. As simple as that, but still true. Like what? I have no idea. She lifted her gaze to me, boiling with curiosity. Well, for starters, what's the big idea in pouring the compote all over me? You were asking for it. She smiled for the first time since we started cleaning. Yeah, sure. I heaved a deep sigh. So, what do you expect from others then? Nothing, she replied acidly. This discussion was over, so I just continued cleaning up in silence. It took us a few hours to fix up the canteen. Few hours? Good lord, how much damage did you do? At last, all the broken tableware was gone, chairs and tables were in their designed places, and the floor looked clean. We were sitting together with Ulyana next to the food counter, breathing heavily, deservedly resting. Now you see how much effort has to be put in because of a silly trick. But I'm not tired at all. Though the sweat pouring down her face told the opposite story. Oh well, good for you. So, what are we gonna do next? I don't know about you, but I'd rather go. Nope, that's not all. You have to... She hesitated. To help me with another little thing. Thinking of another silly prank? You bet. At least she's honest about it. She was smiling broadly. I'm not your man here. I'm more than fed up with just one punishment for today. Okay, here's the deal. If you help me now, there won't be any more pranks. Yeah, right. Sure, that was an inviting prospect, but somehow I couldn't bring myself to trust Ulyana even for a moment. Well, it wouldn't hurt to ask. So, what is your cunning plan? We're gonna steal the candy. What? I should have expected something like that. Candy is for kids. Oh. Soon the chef will go out to dump the trash. Nobody's gonna see us. Count me out. Whatever. She grunted and turned away. Then I'll do it myself. And I won't I couldn't even finish the sentence as Ulyana already jumped over the counter, ran to the cabinet, opened the door and started rummaging through it. Hey, cut that. It's not like you haven't got enough problems with Olga. She didn't reply. You won't get away with just cleaning duty for something like that. Ulyana closed the cabinet. She had a huge bag of candy in her hands. Ah, you little... Put it back. She stuck out her tongue at me and dashed off through the back door. Couldn't just leave it at that. I darted off in pursuit. Sure, the girl had quite a head start, but I still funneled all my energy into the chase. I won't lose her again. We ran through the square, turned at the music club building, and came out onto the forest trail. It almost called Ulyana when she stopped abruptly. Couldn't pull up as sharply, so I crashed into her, sending us sprawling. We rolled down onto the grass. Gotcha. I gave a victory shout. No, you didn't, she replied with an ashamed tone. Ulyana was lying under me. Her face was right next to mine. I felt her erratic breathing and the heat of her body. Sure, right now she's only a child, but soon enough she'll become a woman. Yeah, you best wait. That's not the type of story I want to read or deal with. It was pretty embarrassing. So's that. Yeah, where is this going? You want... I don't want to read that. I don't like where that's going. Anyway, it was more like a game to her. Well, that is not a game. That is not even a pretend game or anything you can pretend to be as a game. Please break this up. She gave a cunning smile and snorted quietly. Or was it just my imagination? I'm not really in the mood. Good. Whatever. Did I just get kicked? No. Ulyana reached up and bit me on the nose. Not the response I was expecting, but I'll take it. I wasn't expecting that, and even pulled back a little. Just a moment of hesitation was enough for her to wrestle out and run a dozen feet away. Watch it! You're gonna regret this later! She laughed out loud and disappeared into the woods. The candy bag was left lying on the ground near me. I wonder if she dropped it on purpose. It's getting near dinner time, so I had to hurry up and return the candy. And preferably, very preferably, stay under the radar. Of course, I'll explain the situation. It was Ulyana who had stolen them. But who's gonna believe me? Olga was already waiting for me at the entrance to the canteen. Good job, Semyon. On what? I hid the bag of sweets behind my back. The bag was transparent and too big to put it in my pocket. I was talking about the cleanup. Everything is clean and tidy. Well, yeah. And where is Ulyana? I wish I knew. She'll come soon. Okay then, go and have your dinner. I entered the canteen. To my utter lack of surprise, it was full. Now I really don't know how to return the bag without being noticed. Sure, I could do it in the evening, but what do I do with it now? Semyon! Oh, that one. Okay. I turned around. Slavia was in front of me. Wow, what's that? She looked at the bag that I didn't manage to hide in time. Caught red-handed, or more like sweet-handed, time to prepare for a scolding. These are... sweets. Where from? I stole them, damn it. No, you technically didn't. Got them from Ulyana. Okay, yeah, technically you stole them from her, but she stole them from this place, so... semantics. Oh, I see. Same old song and dance. What do you mean? It's not the first time she's stolen sweets. And why am I not surprised? Let me handle this. Thanks. Slavia saves the day yet again. She took the bag and headed to the buffet. I had no desire to listen to what she was going to say while returning the sweets, so I started to look around the canteen looking for a place to sit. It seems that I will have to share a dinner table with Electronique and Shurik. There were no more places to sit. Hey, it's the only other guys in this entire place. What's happening, gentlemen? Every time I had to deal with them, I got an itching desire to tease them, or at least to drop some cheeky or cocky banter. It It might be too risky to behave that way, but the electronic brothers were my primary source of positive emotions. How are you doing? Fine. What about you? Hits and misses. Did something happen? Lots of stuff. Mind sharing? Nah, some other time maybe. Suit yourself. He made a helpless gesture. We're going to the ball after dinner. Electronic giggled. I know that. Who would you want to ask out? I hadn't thought about it yet. What about you? It seemed that this question caught him off guard. Ask Ulyana. That would make her happy. No thanks. Electronic furiously waved his hands. And you, Shurik, you gotta ask Alisa out. Thanks, I'll pass. He looked calmer than his mate. Oh, come on, guys. It'd be fun. And in any case, we've got things to do. We still have to finish the robot. Oh, that's a marvelous idea. Ask your robot out. Can it dance? Now you're just being cheeky. It can't even walk yet. Shurik probably missed the point completely. Why, it would be a great demonstration of our achievements in front of the camp. And what would we show to them? Yeah, you're right. They both stared at their plates disappointedly. Dinner was over and the pioneers started to disperse. What will you wear for the ball? I asked Shurik in Electronic. We don't have anything special to wear. We'll go as we are. He indicated his pioneer uniform. They don't seem to care about their appearance at all. Well, why should I care then? Wearing my winter clothes isn't an option, so I'll just go like this. When does it start? After 9 o'clock. Got it. I left the canteen and deeply inhaled the fresh evening air. I remembered those rare dances I used to go to at school. Hesitation, insecurity, even fear. I couldn't dance, didn't know how to react if someone had invited me. I wouldn't dare to invite someone myself. All in all, I felt pretty uncomfortable about it. And it was even more unpleasant to watch others having fun. It wasn't envy. More like it was a disconcerting feeling that people were able to enjoy something so odd for me. I thought that there was still lots of time till the ball so I could sleep a little and be fresh in the evening. Entering the camp leader's cabin, I flopped onto the bed instantly and shut my eyes. Are you gonna sleep through it? Strangely enough, I got up right on time even without an alarm. The clock was showing 9. Such a rare thing to happen. I felt sluggish, though. Probably it wasn't the best idea to sleep during the day after all. Well, I have to go. In a couple of minutes, I was standing at the square. The loudspeakers and some DJ equipment were installed near the monument, and the trees were decorated with light strings. Ah, a typical country ball. A lot of pioneers were around, but no familiar faces, so I just sat on a bench and waited. I don't have to dance after all. Maybe I'll be able to just sit and chat with someone. Hey there, sad face. Oh, Yana. Here to suggest something.
Come on, let's dance.
It's way too early. There isn't even any music yet.
Blah, you're so boring.
Yeah, I'm not the merriest person for such an event. She ran away. So Ulyana did wear something like an evening dress. Pretty funny.
Hey. Hi.
Slavia. Hey. She sat down by my side.
How's the evening?
Fine.
Why are you so sad?
I'm not.
Okay, well, dancing will surely cheer you up.
Maybe.
Don't forget to save one dance for me.
She laughed and ran towards the music equipment. The situation was getting serious. I wouldn't be able to sit through the whole dance party.
Hi.
Lena came closer. Oh, hi. You're here too? Is that such a wonder?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna light this party up. The joke fell flat, as it would. Lena blushed and looked down. Well, maybe that's not the best idea, setting things on fire.
Okay, then I guess I'll...
Yeah. She left. It looks like the whole camp was at the square. The pioneers formed large groups, talked, joked around, and laughed. At the DJ's panel, Ulyana argued loudly with Olga about the playlist for the evening. Aw, it's all lit up. And here it is. The music started to play. I didn't know the band or the song, but if you asked me, I really felt that I'd tag it Soviet pop classics. The pioneers just stood there for some time as if not hearing the music. It's always hard to take the first step, especially if you're pretty sure that you'll be the only one who would take it. Ulyana seemed not to grasp that simple truth. She reached the center of the square with a few bounds and cried out loud, "What are you standing around for?" and started to wiggle ridiculously. Wiggle is the exact word. You couldn't find a better one. Looks so silly and funny that I couldn't resist laughing. She noticed it.
Hey, Semyon!
I pretended I couldn't hear her.
Stop pretending! Come over here!
I kept ignoring her. The pioneers slowly realized that they weren't too sexy for this party and started to dance. It looked really silly from my point of view. Shaking one's arms and legs to the beat of long-forgotten hits. Come on, get real. Of course, I couldn't dance at all, but this thing couldn't be called a dance either.
Hey, Semyon, what are you sitting there for? Don't you want to dance?
I was so deep in thoughts that I hadn't even noticed Slavia. Not really.
Are you sure?
She smiled. Maybe later. Damn, what am I even doing here? One more invitation to dance would completely ruin my pride. I started to think about an appropriate excuse to leave and was looking for the moment to do so, but then I saw Lena. She was slowly heading my way.
Maybe we should go?
Where to? I was so immersed in my thoughts that I didn't really get what she meant.
To the infirmary. But if you want to stay here and dance...
I doubt she was going to dance. Lena had stood aside the whole evening. No, I'll pass. Let's go. At least I won't have to stand here like a shy nerd. Seriously, trying to conceal myself in the corner wasn't very pleasant. A bull in a china shop would be more agile than me on the dance floor. I didn't have a slightest intention of dancing in the first place.
Well, shall we go to the infirmary?
Lena brought me out from my thoughts. We'd been just standing near the canteen for some time. Yes, sure. Thank you.
What for?
She looked at me in surprise. Well, for getting me out of there. I shouldn't have told her that dancing is not my thing. It's, you know, so boring there.
Seems to me you don't like dancing.
There was not a trace of sarcasm on her truthful, even childlike face. Seems like she really doesn't understand. Yes, don't like it at all. I'm not into it.
Me too. No one ever invites me to dance.
Lena blushed and stared at the ground as usual. Strange.
What's strange?
Well, that no one ever invites you.
You think so?
Again, she looked at me with an expression of surprise. Dang it. Hold on. Again, she looked at me with an expression of surprise and a lack of understanding. I got confused and couldn't find what to say in return right away. Yes, certainly. If I liked dancing, I would have invited you for sure.
Thanks.
We didn't say a word for the rest of the way. Lena obviously felt too confused by my awkward compliment, and I just didn't know what topic to choose for a conversation. It was completely dark by that time, and the gloomy building of the infirmary, covered in the night mist, looked strongly like a haunted house. I felt a strong desire to turn around and walk away without making any noise. I threw a quick glance at Lena and noticed that she looked like usual, shy, modest, uncertain, but not in any way scared. It just made me even more uncomfortable. It can't be that she is not scared, while I... Suddenly an owl hooted nearby, and I shivered. Lena seemed either to hear it, not pay attention to it, or just not be scared by it at all. I hardly could believe the third option, but I didn't want to ask her about it, giving away my own fear. I entered the infirmary and found a switch in the dark. Will the nurse come later?
She won't come.
Okay, she won't come. Understood. Wait a second. What do you mean she won't come? Ah, I see. It is not that I am afraid to be alone with Lena. Indoors. At night. With no one around. Only in movies does something happen under such circumstances. It is just that I am with Lena and not with Ulyana or Slavia. And it seriously changed my attitude towards things happening.
There are the boxes.
She pointed at the messy stack of boxes. There were about a dozen of them. It would take much more than 10 minutes of work. I put one of the boxes on the table before me and started to take out its contents. There were bandages, lots of little packs of bandages.
Here, take this.
Lena gave me a piece of paper. There were some fields, and I quickly realized that I should put the name in the left, the description in the middle, and if there is one, and the quantity in the right field. So, pure inventory. It's not a database, but it'll do. The work started in full swing.
Semyon?
What? I looked at Lena. She stared at me for a couple moments, seemingly making up her mind to do or say something, but then lowered her gaze again.
No, never mind.
It was physically hard for me to just sit without saying a word. However, I didn't dare to speak first, not only because I couldn't think of a good topic for conversation, but that I was just feeling shy. This girl could easily be embarrassed by anything.
Semyon,
Yes?
you are counting them all over again.
Indeed, I had started to take out and put into the database the bandages I had already counted. Oh, sorry. She didn't answer. Hey, where are you from? I mean, where did you come from? Meaning, where were you born? I mean, where do you live?
Well, There's a town not far from here.
Not far from here. Where is that?
Somewhere.
Looks like she didn't want to talk about it. Is Lena hiding something too? It is explicable in the case of Olga, but in Lena's case, it is absolutely not like her. Is it a secret?
No, just...
So, is it somewhere in the south too? I should have thought of something more original. Every single one of my sudden ideas turned out the wrong way, and this attempt to play spy worked out even worse. And I thought about south just because the only pioneer camp in the Soviet Union I remembered was Artek.
Yes.
Lena hesitated to reply. I couldn't quite tell if she was lying or not.
Don't you like it here?
I wonder what part of what I said made her think so. Absolutely not. I like it here. My false friendliness sounded very insincere, grating on the ears. What about you?
I like it. It's so calm here. There are a lot of books in the library. And the people are nice.
Nice, but not all of them.
Why?
Did I really just say that last bit out loud? Turns out I did. Well, you know. Ulyana, for example. She is like an energizer battery with a completely unbalanced point of power application.
Battery? What?
Maybe I really was sent back in time. Never mind. Or Elisa. The saying, "a pioneer is the kid's role model," certainly doesn't describe her. If everyone started following her example, it would be a complete disaster for the country in 20 years or so. However, thinking about it now, you can draw the conclusion that everybody did follow the example of Elisa in the 80s, where I probably am right now.
She's not like that, actually.
Not like that? Not like what?
Not like what you said about her.
To begin with, I hadn't said anything. I just stated the fact that she is not the best example to follow.
Well, maybe.
Sounds like you know her well, though.
Probably.
I asked that question only to keep the conversation going, and didn't expect an answer like that. Elisa and Lena were so different. The idea that they could be close was unbelievable for me.
We came from the same town.
As if she had foreseen my question.
We have common friends, even though Elisa is 1 year older.
Okay, it's a little bit strange. Oh, not like that. I'm just surprised.
Everyone gets surprised.
Lena smiled a bit. I took the second box. Analginum activated charcoal, analginum activated charcoal, saline solution, potassium permanganate, ferratzilin, analginum. Lena always spoke in simple sentences. How can I communicate with her if every conversation turns into a monologue or just an awkward silence? I wasn't quite satisfied with such a state of things. Sometimes it looked like she was hiding something behind her mask of shyness. But what? You know, I read a book not that long ago. Do you like science fiction?
Not much.
Damn, another failure. Well, if you don't like it, then what books do you like?
Different kinds.
The conversation wasn't going smoothly and I had to turn it off for the better. Who knows why, but I thought about the dance again. Feeling the uneasiness, discomfort, and even shame overwhelmed me once more. Looks like I am not that different from Lena when it comes to such things. I am shy and afraid of things I don't understand or can't do. I should probably overcome my own fears before anything else. And this will help me to understand her better. I've made up my mind. There are only a couple of boxes left.
Yes.
Hey, I've got an idea. How about we go to the canteen afterwards? I think the tape recorder was taken back there. What is it doing in the canteen? I hesitated.
What for?
Her sincere look made it clear that she hadn't the slightest idea what I am going to offer. Well, frankly speaking, I just don't know how to dance. That's why I don't like it. That's the reason I was so confused back there. Maybe I could thank you by dancing with you.
But I...
She stopped sorting out the medicine for a moment, blushed, and looked right into my eyes. I got a bit stubborn. It really was a stupid idea. It's okay if you don't want to. I don't insist.
What if someone sees us?
I certainly didn't think about that. It's not a big deal, but everybody is asleep already, and no one is going to go to the canteen at night.
How will we get in there?
I should have thought about it beforehand. Well, I did have Slavia's keys, but didn't want to mention them. Someone could get the wrong idea about me stealing them. That moment I regretted that I still didn't get my cell phone from the leader's cabin. Anyway, I had to say something to get away from this awkward topic. What kind of music do you like?
Different kinds? I'm not really into it.
Then, let's imagine that it's playing now. I mean that we hear it playing.
How's that?
Like it plays in your head. I still remember the melody the pioneers were dancing to. The music and words were really clear in my memory.
I'm not sure I can do it.
You can, just try.
Probably.
I've got her consent. It's an odd way of phrasing that, but okay. In Lena's case, even that probably can be considered a yes. Awkward phrasing. We silently sorted medical supplies for the rest of the time, writing down their names and quantities. I should pay more attention to every word I say after such luck. I stayed silent most of the time, though. Soon we finished the last box. I gave Lena the filled-in list and started to stare at her, like I saw Bigfoot riding a unicycle while juggling piglets. Now there's some imagery for you. Goodness. It was amazing, frightening, and above all, mesmerizing. She suddenly broke out laughing. What?
That look of yours.
What about it?
It's just funny.
Really?
Yes, so where are we going to?
Where? Her last words unsettled me. I completely forgot what we were talking about. Frankly speaking, I had completely left this world for a moment.
Well, you know, to dance.
Lena blushed right away, and her face took on a strange expression of shyness, uneasiness, and fear. Ah, yes. Sorry, I was just lost in thought. Let's go to the pier. Good idea. I don't know why I chose that place. Maybe because you could run into a pioneer at the square, in the residential area, or near the canteen, but not on the pier. That's what I thought, at least. Or maybe because of the large bright moon reflecting on the water in the night. And it is a full moon today. I don't know how, but this solution just offered itself. If you don't like it, then we can...
No, that's a really nice place.
Lena locked the door and we made our way to the pier. Night fell on the sleeping camp.
Should we follow the road?
Why? It will be faster through the forest. There is a nice path there.
It's dark there.
Are you afraid?
Not really.
If you want to.
Okay. But can I...
Aww. Without finishing, she grabbed onto my arm.
Is it okay with you?
Now it was my turn to blush. Of course. We walked through the forest. It was hardly a forest, though. More like a small grove between the camp and the pier. About 100 meters long. I would never think that there would be anything to be afraid of, even on my own. But it just seemed like Lena's fear was contagious. The branches swayed over us. I shuddered and Lena clung to my arm even more strongly. Don't be afraid, it must be a squirrel.
Yeah.
We reached the pier. The night was really beautiful. I walked closer to the river and called Lena. Look! The pier, the boathouse, and the moon were reflecting in the water. It looked like another world, with the surface of the water being the door to Wonderland. You could just jump and find yourself on the other side. May I have this dance? I extended my hand to her and bowed clumsily. Lena hesitated. I must have overdid it with my mannerism. There's nothing to fear. I'm no good at it either. Why either? She never said she couldn't dance, though it was kind of obvious.
Okay.
Lena gave me her hand. I led her a bit aside and gently put my arms round her waist. We just stood like that for a few minutes.
And what next?
Well, I don't know. Do you remember that song?
Barely. But I remember.
Great. Let's waltz, like in the movies.
How's that?
Instead of answering her, I carefully started to move in a circle with Lena. See? Not that hard at all.
Yeah.
We waltzed for several minutes, or whatever you could call it. I felt her warmth, though we were not that close to each other. Her chest heaved heavily, and her face started to blush more and more. Lena didn't look at me, averting her eyes from one side to the other. I suddenly realized that I had never felt anything like this before. It was tenderness overtaking reality, as if I found myself in another, better world. I realized that I didn't want to let this girl go, and that I would give up anything just to go on waltzing with her forever. Aww. I clasped Lena tighter, and only then did she look straight at me. There was surprise and confusion in her gaze, but no fear whatsoever. She wasn't afraid of me and didn't push me away.
And you said you can't dance.
I really can't. I was confused. I didn't expect that reaction from her. Where was her confusion, shyness, and fear disappeared to? You too dance pretty well.
I know.
A playful smile crossed her face. Or maybe it just seemed so to me. No, I swear I saw it. How is that possible? The image of shy and modest Lena didn't fit together with this moment at all. What should I say? What should I do next? I could only keep on waltzing with her in this dance, which was getting stranger with every passing minute.
Semyon! Semyon, where are you?
Oh no. Curfew. The voice came from the edge of the forest. Damn. Worst timing ever.
Semyon!
It was Olga. She must have been worrying because I should have been back a long time ago. I should have guessed that tireless camp leader would start searching for a lost pioneer. Should have warned her beforehand. Oh, there's no point in thinking about it now. Excuse me. Lena looked at me questioningly.
Being seen together would not be the best thing.
Why? Let's go and tell her that everything is all right.
No, let's hide and return to the camp later.
Her idea was strange. Everything was going so well. At least something was starting to work out. Or seemed like it did. But what was that something? Okay then. I decided not to argue. It wasn't appropriate in such a situation. Olga shouted for a while and left.
Let's go.
Yes. Lena didn't grab onto my arm on the way back. I was a little bit frustrated, but wasn't certain enough to take the first step. We kept silent again. It was not typical of Lena to start a conversation, and I just didn't know what to say after everything that happened at the pier. She kept looking at the ground all the way back, keeping her usual expression. What a bizarre change. Or, to be more precise, what was bizarre was that smile on the pier and Lena's words. She stopped at the square.
Well, I have to go.
Okay.
Thank you for today.
Yes. Lena turned around and headed to her cabin, and I kept standing where I was. What the hell was that? That dance, that sudden change in the mood, and then everything was back to normal. It was like I was embracing another Lena in that short moment. That's right, she wasn't herself. She seemed a completely different person. Maybe I don't know her well enough. I had a feeling before that Lena hides something under her mask of shyness. It takes much longer than 2 days to understand someone. Damn. What should I do? Maybe I was just seeing things. I walked to the leader's cabin. The whole camp was sleeping, so there was no one to see me. So what? What's wrong with a pioneer taking a walk at night? When I was almost at the door, I heard a noise behind me. The branches of the bush near the trees rustled as if someone moved there. There shouldn't be any wild animals around here. Someone must have been watching me. That very moment I rushed in the direction of the noise, forcing myself through the bushes and looked around. It was too dark and I didn't see anyone or anything. There was no point in going on. Even if someone was watching me, he must have been gone already. I went back to the cabin. The light inside was on. Looks like she's still awake. Oh my.
Semyon, where have you been?
That's a very nice purple. What do you mean, where? Me and Lena have been sorting medical supplies in the infirmary. I told you before that I would do that in the evening.
Really? When was that? Took you long enough. I was in the infirmary about half an hour ago. It was closed and the lights were off.
Well, we decided to have a little walk.
I'm fretting about you while you're out having a walk.
Well, sorry. I'll let you know beforehand next time.
Please do. Go to bed. It's late.
I can't help agreeing with her. It was by any measure a hard day. I was too tired to think about the evening's events, and I doubt I would have any decent thoughts. The main thing is that I have not a single idea how to react to all of this. To Lena, to the camp, to this whole world. I practically haven't spent even a minute on looking for answers. Moreover, I've been avoiding it as if the possible discovery scared me. And Lena. The time I spent with her was much more important than all of my attempts to return to the real world. I could worry about myself for a long time, trying to understand what I did wrong and what I didn't do at all, but exhaustion overcame me. Day 4. And with that, we are going to call this episode there. Thank you for joining me. That was interesting. And what is going on with Lena? Something's not quite right there. There's more to that story. And there's more to everyone's story, and I'm kind of curious just what path am I inadvertently walking down, and which one am I going, which characters am I going to learn enough about that will actually get some answers. We'll have to find out next time. As always, hit that subscribe button so you can check out all of our past and future episodes. And until then, go be creative. Joke that she laughed out loud. Didn't realize that was a joke. But I really had nothing to wear. Yeah, except what you're wearing now. My wardrobe was just a pioneer uniform and my winter clothes, which would be inappropriate even in the evening. And what will you be dressed in, entertainer?
Secret.
Will it be a little dress, just like in a kindergarten's matinee? Oh, that's gonna go over well. Ulyana turned red. Looked like I managed to offend her. That's definitely an offended face.
No, I will not wear a biohazard suit, just so I don't... No, I will wear a biohazard suit, just so I don't catch an infection from you.
I wonder what kind of infection are you afraid of catching from me?
Enough, you guys. Don't quarrel. Idiocy, of course.
Looks like Ulyana was highly pleased with her, as she thought. Brilliant answer again. You know, if you already have the flu, you can't catch the cold. Ouch. 2 can play at that game.
What are you implying?
I don't know, I think that one was pretty clear. Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. I looked away slyly.
Do you mean that?
She went red again. I don't mean anything.
Of course not. Please do.
Lena remained silent, Alright, now I gotta remember everyone's quirks for their voices. Not that I've been consistent about that anyway, but I try to get an idea in mind. Today, the meal consisted of a plate of borscht. I suspected there was some meat lurking in it, but I had no evidence. Some poultry, chances are Chickenus domesticus, with fried potatoes and a traditional glass of compote. I found myself liking the local food more and more. I guess I just came to the conclusion that I have no other choice, which means there's no use in complaining. Thank God there's something to eat.
Coming to the ball tonight?
I don't know.
He'll come. He's got nowhere to go.
Ulyana said happily. You will come for sure.
Of course. I can't miss the opportunity to watch you make a fool of yourself.
She got it right, so I decided not to reply. And what about you? I asked Lena.
Yes,
She replied briefly.
see? You should go too, then.
Said Slavia, as if leaving me no choice.
Don't forget to wear your tailcoat.
Apparently, Ulyana was so pleased with it. Greetings and salutations, ladies and menfolk. Welcome to another episode of Game Break, an ongoing series where me and my crew take a break from our creative endeavors and play some video games and experience some other people's creative endeavors and find out just what their stories are and what their characters can do. I am Charles, coming back to you with Everlasting Summer. Now, it's been a little while since I've recorded this, so I kind of forget just where we were. So we're just going to have to dive right in and see where we are and what we're up to and just what are we in for this time. Load. Alright, so I guess we were at lunchtime. She pointed at the table next to the pillar. Slavia, Ulyana, and Lena were already sitting there. Not bad company. At least, not the worst. I got my meal and went up to them. Do you mind if I sit here? I caught myself sounding a bit clueless. There were no other free places anyway.
No, guys.
Given that it was Lena who interfered, it probably really was time to stop.
You're asking for it. You're gonna get it.
What? You'll finally wise up? Instead of replying, Ulyana grabbed her plate filled with borscht and tipped it over my head. Yeah, you were kind of asking for that one. This game met an unexpected finale. Oh, you little... She jumped up and tried to run away. But this time she won't get away. I grabbed her hand. And now what? I can't just smash her head against the table. No, that would be pretty rude. This pantomime lasted a few seconds. Suddenly, Ulyana skillfully grabbed a glass full of compote and splashed it in my face. That way, she managed to get free of my grip. She dashed off towards the counter and I chased her. This resulted in several flipped tables, a pile of smashed tableware, 5 pioneers crippled by various injuries and full exhaustion of both parties. A draw, sort of. A belligerent draw. With too much belligerence. We stood before each other and breathed heavily. Tell me you won't behave this way again.
And you?
Uh-oh. Olga snuck up on us from behind. When you think about it, such a riot couldn't go unnoticed.
Well, are you satisfied with yourselves now?
Her voice appeared to be calm, but I was sure she was just about to explode.
And who's going to clean up all this mess?
Exactly what happened.
Who, I'm asking you? Who? Him,
replied Ulyana with complete confidence. I think this is a group effort. Oops. Her, I objected less confidently.
Both.
The camp leader brought a conclusive end to this ongoing argument. Yeah, that's an angry face that you don't really want to mess with, I think. Generally, I wasn't sure that my share of the blame is more than hers, although Ulyana didn't have a drop of guilt on her face.
Beat it! I'm not cleaning. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, if you have a dance to get ready for, I can kind of understand that.
This is his fault. He started it first.
No, it isn't.
Oh, yes, it is. I'm not going to sort out all that nonsense. Semyon, go grab a mop, a bucket, some cloths, you know, that kind of stuff in the closet. And as for you...
She looked at Ulyana with such a burning gaze that I felt a bit sorry